What's going on, football fam? Welcome back to the channel where we break down everything that matters in the NFL and beyond. Today's story is absolutely explosive and, quite frankly, no one saw this coming. We are talking about Kyler Murray, the former No. 1 overall pick, Heisman Trophy winner, and dynamic quarterback out of Oklahoma, reportedly signing a massive 4-year contract with none other than the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, you heard that right. Kyler Murray, once believed to be the long-term franchise cornerstone for the Arizona Cardinals, is apparently taking his talents to AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas, suiting up in the iconic navy and silver of America's team. This report has sent shockwaves through not only the NFC East but the entire NFL landscape, and fans, insiders, analysts, everyone is scrambling to make sense of how this even became a possibility. Now, while we're still waiting on the official press conference, several sources close to the organization are already leaking the major details of the deal. The contract is reportedly a 4-year, $198 million agreement, with a guaranteed $132 million and a signing bonus north of $40 million, making it one of the most lucrative deals in Cowboys franchise history and one of the biggest talking points of this entire offseason. Let's be honest, no one had this on their offseason bingo card. Kyler Murray, once the fastest man on the field in Glendale, now taking snaps in Big D? It's surreal, but when you step back and look at the situation from both sides, it kind of makes sense, especially when you consider the long-term implications for the Cowboys and the Cards. First, let's talk about Dallas. The Cowboys have been in quarterback limbo for the last couple of seasons. Yes, Dak Prescott is a good quarterback, some would argue a great one at times, but the postseason shortcomings have consistently haunted this team, and Jerry Jones is not getting any younger. The Cowboys' window to win is now, with a strong defense led by Micah Parsons, a core of explosive skill players, and a fanbase that's desperate to get back to a Super Bowl after nearly 30 years of disappointment. If you're Jerry, and you feel like Doc isn't getting it done in the playoffs, then maybe it's time to swing for the fences. And Kyler Murray is exactly that kind of swing. He's electrifying. When healthy, he's arguably one of the most dangerous dual-threat quarterbacks in the league. His ability to extend plays, throw off platform, and keep defenses honest with his legs makes him a nightmare to game plan against. And don't forget, he's still just 27 years old, meaning he's entering the prime of his career. The Cowboys likely view this as a chance to inject life into their offense, create more unpredictability, and build a system around a more mobile, dynamic quarterback. On the flip side, what does this mean for Arizona? That's where things get really interesting. Just a couple of years ago, the Cardinals gave Kyler that massive extension, committing over $230 million to their franchise quarterback. But things haven't exactly gone according to plan. Injuries have piled up, coaching changes disrupted continuity, and despite some flashes of brilliance, the Cards failed to establish themselves as contenders in a stacked NFC West. The relationship between Kyler and the organization has reportedly been rocky at times. Remember the whole film study clause controversy? That raised a lot of eyebrows around the league and may have signaled deeper issues between Murray and Arizona's leadership. Maybe the new regime, with head coach Jonathan Gannon and general manager Monty Ossenfort, wanted a clean slate. And maybe Kyler felt that he needed a fresh start to rejuvenate his career. If that's the case, a mutual separation could have been brewing for a while behind the scenes, and Dallas just made the most compelling offer to make it happen. From a business perspective, it's a bold move by both teams. Arizona is likely eating a massive dead cap hit to unload Murray's contract, which signals a potential rebuild or at least a soft reset around a younger, cheaper quarterback, possibly one they draft or one they've been grooming in the wings. Meanwhile, Dallas gets a high upside QB to pair with their win-now roster. Now let's dig deeper into how this affects the NFC East. The division was already one of the most competitive in football, with the Eagles, Cowboys, Giants, and the resurgent Commanders all jostling for dominance. Adding Kyler Murray to the mix in Dallas turns up the heat significantly. Think about the QB matchups alone: Kyler versus Jalen Hurts twice a year? That's must-watch TV. Not only will the Cowboys' offense become faster and more unpredictable, but Kyler's mobility could be the perfect counter to the aggressive pass rushing units that exist in the division. It also changes the tone of how defenses have to prepare for Dallas. You can't just sit back in zone and force the quarterback to make tight window throws anymore. Now, you have to account for broken plays, extended drives, and the possibility that Kyler turns a 3rd and 10 into a 40-yard scramble. That level of improvisation is what Dallas has been missing, especially in the postseason. Say what you want about Dak, but he's more of a structured quarterback. He works best within the system. Kyler, on the other hand, is chaos in cleats. He's unpredictable, and that unpredictability could be exactly what Dallas needs to break through the playoff ceiling that's haunted them for decades. And what about the locker room dynamic? That's going to be a fascinating subplot. Kyler has been labeled as immature or difficult by critics, but teammates often come to his defense. The Cowboys have strong personalities: Micah Parsons, CeeDee Lamb, Trevon Diggs, and a very tight-knit locker room. Integrating a quarterback with a big personality and a new playstyle could create friction, or it could light a spark that takes this team to a whole new level. It all depends on how head coach Mike McCarthy, offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer, and the rest of the staff adapt their game plan to fit Kyler's strengths. And make no mistake, they will need to adapt. You can't just plug Kyler into the same system you ran with Dak and expect the same results. The offense has to be more fluid, more motion-heavy, more RPO-based, and built around quick decision-making with layered options for Murray to exploit. Expect to see more play-action boots, quick rollouts, read option looks, and vertical shots out of broken pockets. It'll be different and it'll be fun to watch. As for the fans, Cowboys Nation is buzzing. The reaction is understandably mixed. Some are hyped to see a new, dynamic QB take over, while others are worried about giving up on Dak too soon. After all, Dak has been the face of this team for years. He's been durable, a good leader, and statistically solid. But stats don't win Super Bowls. And if Jerry Jones is pushing all his chips in for one more run at glory, then swinging for Kyler Murray is a statement that this team is not content with good enough anymore. They want greatness. They want firepower. They want rings. Period. And what does this mean for Dak? The details are still coming out, but reports suggest the Cowboys are exploring trade options or a post-June 1 release designation to spread out the cap hit. Teams like the Titans, Raiders, or even the Patriots might be interested in taking a flyer on a veteran starter like Prescott. Regardless, his era in Dallas appears to be coming to a dramatic close. In the end, this deal is going to be remembered as one of the most shocking quarterback moves in modern NFL history, if not the most shocking. It completely reshapes the narrative around both franchises. For the Cardinals, it's the end of an era and possibly the start of another rebuild. For the Cowboys, it's a full-throttle acceleration into a new, electric brand of football. We'll have to see if the gamble pays off. One thing's for sure, the 2025 NFL season just got a whole lot more interesting. So stay locked in, folks. Subscribe, hit that bell, and drop a comment below. Do you think Kyler Murray is the answer Dallas has been looking for? Or did Jerry make another emotional move that could backfire big time? I want to hear your thoughts. This is going to be one wild ride, and we'll be here breaking it all down for you every step of the way. Until next time, stay safe, stay loud, and stay football crazy.